big issues that was brought up was crime. And we heard a lot of different perspectives on how to cut down on crime in this city. Where do you stand on that? Is this we need to fix certain parts of town, we need to fix roads, is it jail issues? Where do you stand on that?
Well, I believe in equity.
What do you mean by, and you brought that up, what do you mean by equity?
Doing what's needed, when it's needed, where it's needed, and for whom it's needed. I believe that when we bring economic development, which I believe is which will curtail crime, when you bring economic development to an area, it will diminish the crime factor.
How does that happen? We've talked about economic development like in Northwest Jacksonville and different places, the west side, and it still doesn't happen year after year. What could you bring that you think could start to maybe generate in some of those parts of town?
Well, you know, any well-defined problem can be solved, but it takes a willingness to do so. And it's been a lack of willingness in leadership. That's why it hasn't happened. So basically what has to happen is we have to, as mayor, I would court different entities, bringing them into the area. But then you have to make sure that we have the workforce that's educated and able to take these jobs rather than having them import their own people. That just becomes competition. So when we have an opportunity to bring in businesses, fill those jobs, that will curtail the crime. And you have to identify companies, bring them here, encourage them to establish their businesses here, but you've got to do it where the workforce lives. You don't want to bring businesses here and the minority workforces and the underserved workforces have a 30-mile ride to get to work.
Infrastructure, we have neighborhoods going all over, out on the west side, deep up in Ocean Way. Do you feel that Jacksonville's growing too fast?
Well, you know, uncontrolled growth is dangerous, whether it's a city or a company. Our infrastructure, one of the problems that we have is, I'm a general contractor by trade. I was asked once, what comes first, construction or infrastructure? And it's infrastructure, and I was disagreed with. You know, they're like, that's not, you don't know the way it works. Oh, yes, I do. If you don't build the infrastructure and you bring all of these residents, all of the residents into that area, then you have overwhelmed the existing infrastructure. And in case of emergencies, we're gridlocked.
Is housing a part of the infrastructure? What I mean by that is it doesn't matter, I presume it doesn't matter if you have this wonderful job if you don't have somewhere you can live. How does housing play into your idea of infrastructure and, you know, being where the, you know, businesses investing where the people are?
Say that last part again.
How does housing, what are your thoughts on housing and what your administration will do to ensure that people have housing for all the growth that we discussed today through infrastructure?
So are we talking about housing as it relates to affordable housing or?
Yes.
Well, affordable housing, we have programs that I would make sure are continually funded so that we can offer down payment assistance and even venture off into rental assistance. But I think educating renters on the value and the ease in comparison to renting, the ease of home ownership, when you do that, then you have people who have an investment in the community. And I think that's one of the ways that we will go about doing it.
How will you not only work with local, like the sheriff, but how will you also work and build that bond with the governor? Work and build the bond with the governor.
Oh, okay. Well, you know, everything is about relationship. So working with the governor, you have to build a relationship with him, find a level ground that we can agree on. And, you know, if he's about people, then that's where we start, because all relationships are about people. So I will build that relationship, let him, and my job is to be the voice to and for the people of Jacksonville, to them, to give them the real deal as to whatever the issues are, so that they will know exactly what's facing us. For them, speaking up to the governor and to the federal representatives and legislators to make sure that I can bring home the dollars that we need for our people here in Jacksonville. Anyone? That it?
That's it.
Okay. Thank you.